Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a couple different exciting things going on. Also, before we start, I just want to mention my little change of scenery. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm in a different room. I've changed bedrooms. So my bedroom is now upstairs, and my little sister, who moved in with me, took over my downstairs bedroom. So that's why we're in a different room, and pretty soon we're gonna have the house together for a full house tour. But anyways, today is exciting because it was Logan's last day of school, it was his last final. So it was officially his last day of senior year, his last day going to high school classes ever. And today I'm taking my last test for my online classes. So it's my last day of high school ever too, so I'm pretty excited. Right now Laela is napping and Logan just went to pick up food for us with some of his friends, so he's actually just getting back now. For today's video, I wanted to do a little sit down video where I talk to you guys about my experience with just high school. So my experience over the last 4 years leading up to me becoming a teen mom, me being in high school and being pregnant, and then being in high school as a teen mom, and basically how my 4 years of high school went, because they were probably a lot different than a lot of people's high school experiences. But you know, everyone's experience is different. If you hear music in the background, that's Laela's lullabies. Her bedroom's right below mine, so you might be able to hear that, so I'm so sorry if that's really annoying in the background. So we're gonna get started with my first year of high school, my freshman year. I went to Eleanor Roosevelt High School. I had more friends in the grade above me than I didn't really know as many people in my grade, so I knew some girls in the grade above me, and that's how I became friends with the sophomores there. And pretty much right away when I started, I met this boy and I started dating him October of my freshman year, and then I basically just spent that whole year with him, and I didn't really get into any of the friend groups in my grade and didn't really make very many friends in my grade. So that's how the first year of high school went for me. I was just sort of dating this boy, and it was fun, and we did everything together. We even traveled together. My spring break of my freshman year, we went to San Diego together, so we would save up money just to travel. That summer, we went to Florida together, and it was really fun. I sort of didn't like that I wasn't I didn't really have any friends because I was always just sort of with him. So I decided to break up with him the summer, during the summer right before my sophomore year. So that's basically all that really happened my freshman year. I'm not really going to get into my home life at all as much. I'm just sort of going to talk about just high school. I played varsity soccer my freshman year, which was pretty exciting. I was a bench player, so I wasn't really that good, but I played varsity, so it was fun. And I played tennis, so I was super involved in school stuff, and my freshman year was pretty enjoyable. I had really good grades. I was in a science and technology program at my school, the nerd program, and I took a lot of more advanced science classes and stuff. Then my sophomore year, I started the school single, and I started turning into a wild high schooler, and I started throwing parties all the time. People didn't really throw parties where I lived, so I started throwing parties at my house, and I would do it all the time, and basically I think I just felt, I don't really know exactly why I did it, but I just felt cool, I guess, or I felt whenever I had all these people, I wasn't alone. So I would throw parties all the time, and I thought it was just cool to do that stuff. My friend group that I was in sort of thought that it was too much, and that I was too much to handle, and that I was partying all the time, so they all cut me off. And I was also in a really bad situation with my family. I had a really rough home life family situation, so that was probably contributing to why I wanted to just party all the time and just forget about my home life. So they all cut me off, all of my girlfriends, on my birthday, on my 16th birthday. And I sort of at the time also had started dating around with all these different guys, and my sophomore year was very messy and not recommended behavior. And after all of my friends cut me off, I started hanging out with bad kids, and it just kept going downhill from there, and I just got really depressed. I stopped caring about sports. I stopped caring about playing soccer, and I stopped caring about school. I hardly ever even went to school. I would take my mom's car out when I didn't even like have my actual license, and I would just take her car out all the time, and like I just started being a terrible, bad teenager. I feel like it was all sort of factors of my environment. Like my mom like sort of showed me that this behavior was okay due to a bunch of like different bad situations, bad things that had happened, which I've talked about in some of my other videos. At the end of my sophomore year, I just had like explosion mental breakdown, and I told my aunt about the things that were happening, and it was bad enough that she came and she picked me up and had me move in with her, took me to my high school. Because of the circumstances, they froze my grades. I was done with the year like the end of April, didn't have to take any of my finals just because of how bad the circumstances were, and then she took me to go move in with her in Delaware, which was 2.5 hours-ish from where I lived at the time. So I actually sort of ran away from home. Like, my family didn't know I was leaving, and I just sort of packed my stuff and left, and they were like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Sorry, I moved away. I couldn't handle everything that was happening." And yeah, we're not going to go into too much detail about that in this video, but if you want to see more about it, I talked about it in one of my earlier Q&As titled, like, I ran away from home at 16. I'll put a link in the description for you guys. At the end of my sophomore year, I moved in with my aunt, and I didn't start school out here because it was only like a month left of school. But I took lifeguarding classes, and I was a lifeguard at the beach for that summer. And then I started meeting kids around here, and that June I met Laela's dad. We started dating as soon as I moved here, basically. Once it was fall, I was starting at Cape Henlopen High School, and I was going in as a new student. I didn't really know very many people there, and my boyfriend, Laela's dad, did not like the idea of me being in, like, we didn't go to the same school, so he didn't like the idea of me being in school with other boys without him there. So that's when he started getting super crazy and overprotective. He would show up at my school all the time, find me in my classes, like literally break into my school and like come and find me, and it was like stalking behavior, and it was just very obsessive and terrible. And that's when he intentionally got me pregnant that fall, because he was afraid that I was going to leave him, because obviously because he was acting like that, I was starting to like try to distance myself and break up with him. He intentionally got me pregnant. Obviously I knew I wasn't on birth control. I know how babies are made. I'm not blaming him because it takes two to tango, but it was his intention to get me pregnant, and now he's nowhere to be found. I'm going to make another video about the more recent stuff that's been going on with my baby daddy, so stay tuned for that. I was at this new school, I like started making new friends, and now I'm like the pregnant teenager at the high school, like pregnant new girl at the high school, so it was a great name for me. Great image for me to start off with. I immediately was like, I cannot be here, like I don't have enough close friends here to support me, and I'm pregnant. I don't want to be here. And I was also really sick in the beginning. And basically right when I found out I was pregnant, I decided to leave Laela's dad. Because I was really sick, I had to start like missing a lot of school. I just didn't want to be there. Like everyone knew I was pregnant. I was like this new girl, I didn't have close friends. I would walk down the hallway, like people would just stare at me, and it was just like uncomfortable, and I did not like being there at all. People were all like sort of trying to give me their opinion on it and like what I should do, and people were telling me to like get abortions or don't get abortions, and like it was just a lot to have other people like shoving their opinions about my personal life in my face. So, but for the most part, people at my school were pretty supportive, and in the end, all of my teachers and like all the administration was really supportive. It was just hard in the beginning. So then they started sending letters home saying that like I need to start showing up to school, and I lived with my aunt at the time, and we decided that I should try to get on homebound, which is where if you can't physically be in school, one teacher will collect all your work from your classes and bring it to you and like meet with you a few times a week, but like someone has to volunteer to do it. So we went and we got the paperwork for it. My doctors filled it out, but they didn't approve it. My guidance counselor told me that I didn't have to show up to school because once the papers get approved, it should excuse me from like missing school beforehand. But since I didn't approve it, all the school that I missed, like, they put that against me and then tried to take me to court and charge me with truancy for not showing up to school. So that was, like, sort of really bad miscommunication between me and my guidance counselor. We ended up signing me up for actual homeschooling, which is luckily really easy to do in Delaware. So we, like, withdrew me from school, and then my aunt already homeschools her kids. So when you homeschool in Delaware, it's sort of like having your own private school. So she just had to, like, register me for her school, if that makes sense. And then I started taking online classes through Keystone to get my credits for my junior year. So that's pretty much how I spent my junior year, just at home. I hung out with like a couple different friends, but I sort of isolated myself from like the whole high school scene. And I worked at this trampoline park called Shall We Bounce, and I had like some close friends there, and there's a lot of people who have stuck through with me all the way through my pregnancy until now, and have always been my friend and been there. But I really didn't hang out with that many people while I was pregnant. So that's how my junior year went. I was sort of just at home and just preparing for baby, but I was happy. I enjoyed it. And yeah, I don't know. I was just grateful for my life. I don't know. And for my aunt and everything. So, I'm gonna cry. Laela was born the end of my junior year, so I finished my classes in April, but she was born in June, which would have been the end of my junior year. And then that fall, I went back to school because Laela was old enough that I could leave her with my aunt during the day. She could have bottles during the day, and I would go to school only every other day, which is just how my schedule worked out. So I would go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the next week I would go Tuesday, Thursday, and it would just keep repeating. So I would leave her with my aunt for a full school day every other day. And it was working out pretty well, and I loved being able to go back to high school, and everyone was super supportive, thought it was so cool that I had a kid, and everyone just thought Laela was adorable. All my teachers were so nice about it. I would pump every day. I would pump my breast milk in the nurse's office every day. The nurses were really nice too. After about half of the year, it just sort of got hard to leave Laela with my aunt all the time because it was winter, and her kids were getting sick a lot, and then Laela would get sick, and someone would always be sick, and my aunt wouldn't be able to take care of her kids and Laela. So I started having to miss a lot of school, and then I started getting behind, and then I ended up moving out and getting my own place, and I was hoping that I would still be able to have my aunt keep my daughter, and I could just drive her to my aunt's house, drop her off, go to school, pick her up at the end of the day, and my aunt just couldn't continue keeping Laela for me. I talked to my guidance counselors about it, and they helped me figure out this way that I could do my school from online, but through my public school, so I still got to go to prom, and I still get to go to all the school events, and I'm still registered at my school, but I do all my work online. It was great because I got to establish a friend group, and I got to have the senior year high school experience and go to the football games and still have some of the in-school experience. It was nice getting to go to school every other day and have my aunt keep Laela because it was sort of a break from mom duties, and I was grateful for that I got to have that little break, and it was something meaningful. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of months, is just basically I get to be a stay-at-home mom, do work from home, do YouTube from home, and then I did my online classes, and I'm on my very last test for the last class. So I'm really excited for that. I did personal finances, an English class, and marine biology, which have all been super interesting, and I've loved doing all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I'm sorry you didn't get to say hi to Laela. I'm going to see if I can get her for a thumbnail picture later. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my high school experience journey. Hopefully my comments will be on for this video so I can hear your feedback. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, my graduation is June 4th, so stay tuned.